Chris is on the rampage trying to find somebody who's going to deliver tamales to the door in our small little town. The thing is, there's no like fast food here, but what they do have is like everybody uses WhatsApp, but they also have like Facebook groups and Facebook pages, and you just send them a WhatsApp message, right? And so she's trying to find someone who actually delivers tamales. We usually can find people, but it's almost always on the weekends, and she's wanting to order on a weeknight. And a lot of these people, what they do is just on the weekends in their homes, they will make things, and then their kid will jump out on the scooter or the moped or whatever and take it and deliver it across town to people. But this person does not deliver. And Chris was like, "Rawr." So she's trying to find someone else who is going to deliver on a Tuesday. She's having a craving, guys. It's kind of like I will always, always, always eat hamburger and fries. It's like my number one go-to, hamburger and fries or pizza. Or a good sandwich, like a cold cut sandwich. Those are very, I'm going to use the euphemism, very American things if you consider it. But I grew up in construction, and that's literally was lunch every day for decades. Was sandwich, chips, some fruit, go to McDonald's, go to Burger King, go to Subway, go to Village Inn, lots of burgers. And then I grew up on a dairy farm, and which also had beef, so we always had steak and beef and hamburger and everything else. You grow up on the seaside, you're going to eat a lot of fish. It's just one of those things. Um, so that's my go-to. But Chris's go-to is like tamales and beans and fish, like river fish. She loves river fish. And they do have this really crazy. They have some really good fish here. I'm not a huge fan of river fish because it often has a very muddy flavor to it, but some river fish can be good. I do like ocean fish, um, and certain things. Like I like salmon, I like halibut. Cod's pretty good. Deep sea bass is good. Wachinango, which is snapper, red snapper, is probably one of my favorite. I think literally that was basically my favorite. Red snapper is probably my favorite sea fish. Daytime says I'm a painter. I can relate, man. Subway was my go-to. Now it's too expensive. Yeah, it's gotten more costly. So is everything. Like I can remember back in the day, and it's been a while ago. Like all this stuff, right? But like I can remember when I was in my early 20s, you could go to Wendy's, get a double stack with cheese for 99 cents, and a
Our
fry
minds and bodies must
for
be fully
another
devoted to
dollar
His will.
whatever. So I'd get two double stacks, a fry and a drink, and it'd be like $5. And now you try to do that, and that's fucking $20. I can remember you could be able to get a foot long at Subway for like $2.99, $3.99, and now they're like, I don't know, $15 or something. It just depends on where you're at. Tinkle says as a welder, I only eat after work. Big meals and super hot. It's not great a combo. Small snacks. No, I don't doubt it with that for sure. Yeah, even we don't have any fast food where we live. That's probably one of the nice things about living. Well, there's lots of pros and cons to living in the countryside, but like we don't have. There's like no restaurants here that I would want to go to on a regular basis. And there's no there's not a single there's not even any local chains there's not even any national chains where we live. There are no chain restaurants at all where we live. That's how small of a town we live in. Um, like even in the U.S., you can find a freaking Subway or a Sonic or a McDonald's in like every podunk everywhere. We live so far out in the middle of nowhere that there's no fast food at all. Period. Um, I do miss that about the city because having Uber Eats and I can walk out my door and find 250 restaurants in a 15-minute walk where we live downtown. Um, and you can just anything you want on Uber Eats is there within 30 to 45 minutes. What do you want? You want Thai food? You want Indian food? You want some butter chicken? You want some naan bread? You want burgers? You know, what do you want? That was nice. And here, it's the good thing about that though is that I can't order anything, so I don't spend any money. But and we cook almost everything at home. I think we probably only eat out whenever Chris wants tamales. We get tamales. We'll get a pizza maybe every 3 months. There's no really good pizza joints where we live. We're to the point where we're ready to just start making our own pizzas. It's just that's just more work, and we're both kind of lazy about certain things. It's like, oh, pizza. We already do all these other things. We're gonna have to start doing pizza dough. I did buy a big old container of yeast though to make bread, so I think it's just time to buckle down. I don't know why I came in here. I'm talking and not paying attention. Yeah, Centauri, Uber Eats gets it's so easy and it's like it's convenient and no, I've made a lot of pizza before in the past, but where we live, we try not to do too much um, oven cooking when it's hot. It's about time to start doing bread weather, so usually by the end of October, we're at a point where I don't mind cooking with the oven and getting out there and baking. So we'll probably start making pizzas mid-October. We might even make one for our anniversary's coming up in mid-October. So I think we'll probably make a pizza. But yeah, Chris will order tamales. Not tonight, she's saying. It's Tuesday. Yeah. She's not finding anybody, so we may do something else tonight.
This device is rather imposing. The device looks ready.
I need to get
Let us
her
hope it has
hooked up
not
to
been
the mic
built
one
too
night so that you
hastily.
guys could just hear her ranting
I need
over in the
this
corner
to
while I'm
work.
playing.
I pray the interlock proves useful once inside the scaled citadel. Ah, did Victor finally relinquish the access code?
Yep, this slate has a code on it.
Ah, excellent. We'll finally have the resources to fully charge the morning device. Now give me a moment to set up the grid. Inputting the access code.
What's up, Chris? Oh,
Routing
Chris said it's thundering
power.
outside. We got a storm coming in, guys. So if I randomly disappear, you'll know.
It is done.
You'll know why, because there's a storm rolling in. Homemade chimichangas. Chimichangas are
Will you
definitely
do
more of
us
a
the honor?
Tex-Mex thing. I don't think I've ever had chimichangas once in Mexico. No, chimichangas. Chimichurri we make all the time at home.
Now that our calculations have been fine-tuned, I am even more
¿Cómo?
confident.
Aquí en México no. ¿Tú? No, es más Texas, es más norte México. Yeah, that's North Mexico, Texas area. The one thing that it's funny to me how it's called different things, but like in the United States, I think they call them taquitos, which are the hard tacos that are rolled up. So they do those here, but those are just literally hard tacos, tacos dorados. Those are good, but it's it's a lot of work to make those. Also enchiladas, but like mostly enchiladas too is more of a north thing, but we'll do them sometimes here. Yeah. Sí, es frito, sí. Así es, Norte México y Texas. Sí. We do a lot of tacos and burritos here, but that's just because it's everybody eats that here. And there's, we do chilaquiles probably twice a month maybe. We eat pretty simply, but we do eat very good. We were talking about this the other day, like our fridge is so full. We were actually like, Chris was like, we just need to get a bigger fridge. It's like, no, we just need to, yeah. We eat good, but we do eat simply. We eat a lot of eggs, a lot of chicken, a lot of beans, a lot of tortillas. The one thing that's hard to find where we live is yellow corn flour tortillas because everybody here uses the white corn, and it's got a different flavor. It's good, but yeah.
Our chance
Hang on, what do we got here? The scaled citadel. We need to power the morning device.
is of success.
So Chris makes cornbread from scratch, Tinkles. She loves cornbread. But I mean, she literally husks the corn, mills it all down, well, blends it all down, and makes it all from scratch. So, like, she came home, what was it, 2 weeks ago? With a big bag of just, like, I don't know,
Sahin's
30
research
ears of
and
corn or
algorithm
whatever.
have proven to be
I got
even
3
more
of them.
vital than I estimated.
And the rest of them she used for cornbread. But the problem is, it takes her, that's a full day of work. And then the cornbread's gone in 2 days. Because she'll just eat like 5 or 6 slices of it throughout the day.
Now that we have access to full power, we've been able to run
They don't really
proper
do
tests.
the cornbread mix down here. That's hard to find. Good cornbread is worth it though. Reminds me of that guy on TikTok with the beard. What we gonna eat today? It's a lot of cornbread.
All personnel to stations. Clear the platform.
Activating power grid interlink.
Deer meat is worth it, man.
Field projector.
Rings of Power
Standing
tomorrow night, Satari. Yep, season finale. Chris watched episode 7 2 nights ago, and she was like, "Oh wow, that's amazing." And I was like, "I know, it really was amazing." And she's never read the books. I have, and it was still freaking amazing. I cannot wait for the season finale because I already know who's dying at the end of this season.
Capacitors fully charged.
All stations reporting.
Huh?
Ready to proceed with
Nada. We need to aim it.
Targeting system engaged.
Oh, this is so wicked, guys. Hang on to your hats. We're about to blow up the planet.
Adjusting counterweights.
Locking axial tilt. Device is in position.
It's time. On your mark.
Here we go, kids.
Fire.
Shall pierce the shell of the world.
Focus.
Beam on target.
Compensating
Power
for
drive,
recoil.
seating capacity.
It is working. Steady.
Attempting to stabilize. Detecting graviton flux.
Hold. We cannot fail the speaker now.
Well, your speaker's a whack job, so just letting you guys know.
Enough. Shut it down.
Cutting power.
Didn't do anything?
Turning 0.
Yeah, they've done a great job. Charlie Vickers has been crushing it as Sauron / Anatar, and Charles Edwards as Celebrimbor. Oh my God,
Shutdown complete.
those two guys have stolen this entire season in terms of just acting chops and scenes.
Well done, all. Well done. We have
It was
done all we
already
can.
brutal in episode
I am
7,
sure the
Centauri.
council is
Like
waiting to speak.
that scene when he's like, let's see whose will is stronger. Shunk. I was like, oh my God, this is intense.
We've been making several adjustments.
And because Chris has never read the books, she has no idea what's coming. I do. Although they have slipped me a few, Oh, I heard the thunder that time, even with my headset. Yeah, there's a lot of rolling R's here and there. It's going to be very interesting. I have a theory that what they're going to do is because of where Nenya ended up at the end of this episode, I have a feeling what's going to happen is there's the big showdown at the end is going to be Galadriel against Sauron, but she's got the 9 on her, but she's got to get the 1, and Adar's going to go face Sauron. Sauron's going to get Nenya. She's going to go get Nenya from Sauron, but she's got the 9 on her because Celebrimbor gave her the 9. There's going to be a big fight sequence. She's going to get Nenya back, but he's going to yeet with the 9. If I had to guess, that's probably what's going to go down. And that's how he can go forth and then form the 9 kings. And Al-Farazone is going to probably factor into that, into the 9 kings, if I had to guess, in season 3. It's and you know the fall, the fall has got to happen, and oh man, that might not happen until season 4, but I would think that the fall would happen in season 3. I don't know. But I went from being a serious skeptic. Go back and watch I did like 200 videos on Rings of Power leading up to the first season, and I criticized the shit out of all of it. I watched the first season. I was very critical of it. But my wife had a really good time watching it, and I was like, I have to look at it through her eyes a little bit here. And went away from season 1 hoping that they were going to take the feedback to heart. We need to probably check Mary. I'll go check Mary in a minute. And they came back with season 2. I have not had a single complaint about season 2. Not one. Even as a Tolkien fan, where I nitpicked the first season to shit, like I literally nitpicked everything. I think the only thing I would say about this one that I would potentially pick on is I just don't feel like the Harfoots bring anything to the table other than just being there as a token. They're like token halflings, and it's great for the people who love them. They are doing a great job. Those 2 actresses are doing a great job at being hobbits, right? At being halflings. And the traveling song was really cute, and I liked how they brought that traveling song into season 2 as like a navigation tool. But I also feel like it was way too heavy-handed with the whole we don't know if he's Gandalf or not, all through season 1. And then even with season 2, we're like, oh, not sure if he's Gandalf or not. And it's like, if he's not Gandalf by the time you've led us through this, you guys are the biggest fucking dicks of all time. Like, I don't think they're going to do that. It's definitely Gandalf at this point, the stranger. So there's some things I'm not sure about, but the Harfoots are the only thing where I'm just kind of like, meh. It's not that big of a deal to me, though, because I know a lot of people enjoy them, and they are bringing joy to people, and everybody gets more Middle-earth, so I'm never going to rag on that. Centauri says, I think the first half of season 3 will probably be Numenor arriving in Eriador. If that's the case, then there's still all the war to fight, and the capturing of Sauron, and then they got to get him back. And if that is how season 3 would go, I would wonder if maybe season 3 is all about the war against Sauron, the capture of Sauron, and the bringing of Sauron back to Numenor in season 3. Then they go into season 4, and he's wormed his way into the mind of the king, and he's convinced them to sail for to take out the Valar, and then the fall happens in season 4, and we end season 4 with Elendil, Isildur, and Anarion and whatever all going to Middle Earth, and the formation of Gondor and Angmar and everything else. If I had to guess, that might be the timeline that they'd be working with. But yeah, like Trickle says, it's hard to guess the pacing because they're crunching all the time everywhere. Centauri says, when I stopped viewing Galadriel as the main character and instead started seeing it as a Sauron return story, I loved it way more. Oh yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah. And I'm glad they got a good enough actor to replace the guy who was Adar in season 1, because they're both really talented actors. But Adar is a cool storyline, and when we got Sauron doesn't have an army of his own, and you've just marched this massive army of orcs to his doorstep, I was like, oh snap, bye bye Adar. Like we knew he was gonna die eventually. It was like, oh yeah, you're definitely ending. You're dead at the end of this season. Like that orc army is now Sauron's army. Sorry, just hope you know that. You will not be surviving.
The device has worked. I was not certain this would work, but it seems the serpent has blessed us.
Just check on
You have
the
always
cats.
lacked faith,
Everything.
Dulkif.
One could argue that faith got us into this mess in the first place.
Enough. It is time for action, not bickering.
Agreed. We must secure the Citadel. Send in everyone.
I think the Tom Bombadil. I don't mind Tom Bombadil, but they've given him way too many book lines as opposed to original stuff. Like he's had, he's had some okay dialogue, but they have definitely pulled a lot of stuff that is said in the books and stuff that particularly relates to Gandalf, because the stranger is Gandalf, and then this whole thing about you have to face, well, I feel like that was a little heavy-handed with Bombadil, because like why would Bombadil be guiding and telling someone? Bombadil has never seemed to be that type of character where he would like, but you need to do this. You've got to face Sauron and the Dark Wizard. Otherwise, you've got to do both. Get out there and take care of it. It's like, I don't know. We'll see.
Should we perhaps continue at another time?
It's all good. I'm going to be happy regardless. All right, we need to make a direct assault.
Committing a large force is impossible. There have been reports of increased zealot activity, no doubt in response to what we have been doing here.
It would be
Everything okay
unwise to
outside?
leave Dazra even more vulnerable than it already is.
And to be candid, we have no idea what will happen to anyone entering the Citadel. We must minimize the potential risk.
I don't suppose I can say no thank you. All right. I see where this is going.
It is only fitting that it should be you.
Really? I do not doubt our newest member's conviction, but...
What else can we do? He is the only one who can communicate with Anasco.
And who I now believe to be
Save
completely
as
off
much
his
as you
rocker.
can. Save it all if possible, but the speaker must be your priority. Do whatever it takes to bring Anasco back to us.
It will be nothing short of the highest honor. We will not fail. The Great Serpent will watch over us and deliver us from whatever may come.
We will speak again soon, I hope.
All right, it's time to enter the Scaled
the
Citadel.
hour is at hand. Dazra is nearly saved.
I can give everybody an update on Pippin, by the way. She's a little bit asleep. Kind of asleep. I'm going to move her chair just a little bit so you guys can see her and say hi. She's still in her body bandage.
Thank you.
We
for
are
trusting
very
me.
upset, Chris and
You
I,
saved
at
2
the vet
lives.
because that we're pretty sure he either used the wrong stitches or internal stitches, or he just did a really shitty job. So she has been expelling pieces of those internal sutures for months now. It's like all of May, June, July, August, September, 5 months now. It's like every month she has a flare-up. And when she has a flare-up, it's 2 to 3 weeks. She's approaching the three-week mark right now. Yesterday, she was looking great. All the wounds were closed. She was doing great. And then yesterday afternoon, she started to, like, kind of bite at her tummy again, even with the bandage on. It was like, oh, man.
In time,
And then this morning,
Warhol and Amira
Chris and I
will
went to
come
go
see
take
how
the
foolish
body
they will
wrap
be.
off and bandage everything. And then she had a black speck, like almost 1/8 of an inch in diameter, that was right there at the surface of her skin. We literally put some softener on it, went and laid down for like 30 minutes, and woke up because we heard Pippin like licking herself, and she had moved her bandage to the suit, moved her body wrap to the side, and was like licking at that area. And sure enough, she pulled out another chunk of softened black residue from sutures on the inside. So she had another one come out today after like 2 or 3 days of finally starting to heal. It's like, I feel so sorry for this poor cat, because it's like She'll be fine for like 3 to 4 weeks, and then she'll have another breakout, and then it's 2 or 3 weeks in the bandage. This is the fourth time, I think. And there's literally nothing we can do. Like, so you just have to wait it out and just clean it every day, and so it doesn't get infected, and help her. And the easiest solution is just when they get to the surface, you just let her lick at it, and that's gets them out, and you close them up. But it looks like she's got another. We saw another black mark under her skin that looks like it's probably going to be there in another day or two. Yeah, I don't know what they did wrong, but the kid was young, and he was the only one on staff, and it
I'm
was an
afraid there's
emergency,
nothing more I
and
can do
it
to
was the
help.
only place to get our cat taken care of. So it was like, just do it. And like,
I would do anything to sleep in my own bed.
it's I've been very pissed off. And of course, the vet doesn't want to take, the vet office doesn't want to take any responsibility for it. And you've signed disclaimers and all this other shit, so there's really not a lot you can do. How far away do we have to
Hear
go to
me.
get over there?
Now is not the time for doubt. Now is the time for devotion.
Exactly.
For
It's better to have a returning kitty than anything else, but it is frustrating.
Now, look at this place.
Oh, there's no easy way to get over there. I'm gonna have to run no matter what I do.
Do not be afraid, be joyful. Come together and rejoice.
I'm back, says Dr. Nicktube. Boo, I am back. Had a short nap. By the way, hopefully I'm back for a while, but there is a storm rolling through right now. There's lots of thunder and lightning and winds, and the winds aren't horrible yet, but we may start seeing some... Oh, shit!